Dude, check. So many brands. I thought I'd turn up to the McLaren event and represent appropriately. I'll get a bit of stuff for the Uncut channel as well, but
Sure.
we need some. I think it's always good if we can have a mixture of stuff off of here and on mine, because sometimes you'll be having those informal chats where it's weird to just go bring the camera up and start filming, right?
Oh my god! Are we back in 2021?
We're back in Silverstone. What could possibly go wrong?
Anyway, good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah, I've got an operational car that doesn't explode or try and set me on fire, and that's staying in the edit.
Say no more. Say no more. It's been like a whole 12 months, and then we bump into each other twice within a week.
Go out for some laps. I think we're going to go for some laps.
Well, I saw the car. Well, I saw your name on the sheet, and I thought,
oh, what's he doing here? What's he doing here?
I thought, what a winning combination that is.
Well, at least they won't have to bump start me out of the pits.
And the list goes on.
Yeah. No, we're good. I've not had the Senna on track for 12 months, so this will be good fun, man. We've got some fresh tyres that have arrived on cue. Fresh tyres in there, so we're going to get those fitted, and then we're going to do some hot laps, and then I think we're in Artura as well.
Go burn it up.
Between sessions, we're going to hop in and out of Artura, I think.
Well, there's
cool.
quite the as you've probably seen already. There's quite the range of cars.
There is quite the range. This is a pretty helpful service, actually. Appropriately, this was the McLaren pits during F1 as well, so it's quite cool. And I've not been in the Senna, or on track at least, since Abu Dhabi last year. But for me, the biggest value is to have this level of official McLaren service on site to make sure that the car's okay. They actually do a pre-track inspection, so before you go on track and after you go on track, these guys will inspect the car, make sure it's all up to task, and that also helps to retain the warranty too, which is always super helpful. It's the kind of thing that you'd otherwise have to send to a McLaren dealer before you go on a track day and after a track day, whereas on pure events, you can do it at the track day and have your tyres swapped.
My helmet comms don't fit the car, so I'm having to borrow one of these, which is fine. They're just not the most fashionable of things, Jimbo.
You're all branded up there.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
So do you take customers out and then go with them and they drive?
So it depends on the experience that they're doing, but essentially what happens is you've got a range of people who own cars, like James, who have come along and can have a bit of coaching, and then they're also here to experience Artura and various other sort of new products. But then separately to that, there's some guys that actually come for performance coaching as well, so they will spend a day with a dedicated coach, data, video, and spend the whole day trying to dig away at those lap times.
Looked like the bloke that stole my wallet.
Yeah.
Okay, the all-important feature in a McLaren Senna that, in my opinion, makes the Senna a Senna is race mode. Now, this system is so extreme in the transformation of its car that my insurance would be invalidated if I was to use it on the road in this configuration. So unlike most buttons that you press in sports cars and supercars that might increase throttle response or adjust the aero a little bit, this thing totally transforms. So I have to press race mode once and then hold it, and then it'll double check with me that I want it again just to make sure, and then off we go. So right here, look, you'll see just there it is counting down in percentages of the ride height adjustment that's taking place. So you can see right here, rear's dropping 18, 19, 20 mil, front's dropping to 28, 30 mil. This really well and truly absolutely slams Senna on the ground, and that is when the sort of ground effect aero switches on in this car. So you'd be forgiven for thinking that because of the big wing and the fairly aggressive front splitter, that's where all of the aero comes from, but a lot of it is from underneath the car, and that doesn't switch on until it is really sitting super slammed. So if we have a look on the outside of the car now, you'll see the profile of the tyre from the arch. They are super tucked in, and that's when Senna, in my opinion, becomes Senna. Tricky out there.
Wet, huh?
Yeah.
And windy.
And I'm on 3% fuel as well.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Let's get a coffee.
And a coffee and some fuel. Yeah, it's supposed to be an Artura later.
You do, yeah, you do.
So this has got an exhaust. This is I want to know what this is, because so this is like the American configuration. However, that's not a standard pipe. So if you receive a Senna in North America, it's got 2 exhaust tips, whereas if you receive it in Europe, it has the 3. That being said, that is not a American. So you should hear it. It sounds absolutely berserk. I don't know what it is, but it's cool. It sounds amazing. It does definitely take the Senna experience up a notch. But it's a cool spec. I like it. Harnesses. We haven't got the harnesses fitted in the Senna. I should really get that sorted.
It's got a matching skid lid as well.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, look at that.
And
That's
all the
cool.
comms.
Yeah, very cool. One of the things that was really cool about the whole Senna program is that most of them went through MSO. So there's, like, you never see 2 Sennas like even remotely similar. They're always totally different. This thing was an awesome car. It's never really caught on, but this is a 620R. And what's really cool about it, which they're not making the most of right now, is that this was available with a slick fitment. So you could fit full-blown slicks on this car. It's effectively a GT4 car with like number plates. I know that's a term that's thrown around a lot, but this is literally a GT4 car that's road legal. It's the stiffest car on the road I've ever driven. It's ridiculous. But on the track, it's incredible. And as off the shelf, you can fit slicks to it, which is pretty trick. There's one here as well. 620R here. Is anyone running the slicks? No, not yet. To be fair, it did rain earlier. But you can get slicks for this car. I know I keep saying it, but I don't know of another road legal car that comes from factory with a warranty with slicks. Very, very cool. Look at this. Look at this. It's got like a sort of harness fabric to help close the door, because when you're strapped in with your harnesses, it's hard to reach a door. What is interesting though, you've got a 620R with speakers in it, which is kind of against the ethos of a 620R. Enjoyment and performance per pound, the 600 Spider has got to be one of their all-time greatest. And it's not because you can take off the roof, it's that on a Spider, the window above the bulkhead drops down, and of course the exhausts are 4 foot away from your head. So it's like one of the most theatrical experiences, and at night time this is spitting blue flames and they are up here. And with a subtle exhaust tweak and the window down, this is like a sort of induction chamber of awesomeness. It's so good. And like as a platform too, it's super playful. It's not quite as on point as a 675, but it's not far off. It's just a great, great car. Also, the next time they do an LT version of this platform will be an Artura. So it'll be some sort of Artura LT. And you know, it's hybrid, it's a bit heavier. It's not going to be as pure. This has still got the flat plane crank turbocharged V8 in it, which makes it special. I wouldn't be surprised if long term these do quite well. It's a special car, that. That's the drive home on. Because if we don't leave here having completely destroyed a set of tyres, we've not done a very good job, have we? Look at this. As a spot of context as to how many McLarens there are here, the whole Hangar pit lane is full of them. Look at it. That's a serious spread, huh? Serious spread. It's just over a week. It's over a week since F1 left here. As we were driving in earlier, there's marquees and tents and infrastructure, and they're still taking it down. You sort of forget just what a massive traveling event F1 is in terms of infrastructure. It's crazy. And all of this, of course, is happening on the next race and the next race and the next race. It's not just isolated here. Yeah, it's crackers. What's happening is, apparently in 5 minutes time, Solus GT is coming out for a serious run, which would be magic, because that's got a naturally aspirated Judd V10, which I think revs to 11. So it sounds like a full fat. Yeah, it's going for like 3 laps.
Yeah, that's why all the McLaren boys
yeah.
are there, look.
Look, everyone. So this, anyone tuning in from abroad, we're at Silverstone, and this is the new Hilton Garden Inn Hotel, which was under construction and paused for so long because they started it sort of mid-COVID. It was just stood in sort of stasis for a long time, and now it's built. So anyone who's familiar with doing track days at Silverstone, oddly, around about, the infrastructure for hotels kind of sucks. And then Hilton have built this awesome place here, which, as you can see, connects to the hangar via this gantry walkway. It's really, really helpful. This is going to be incredible. The sound, you can hear it around the back of the track. It also just so happens to be a certain Bruno Senna that's driving it. Oh my God.
Wow. The car in the garage. Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Stunning. Yeah, it's the engine sound, the grip, the stability is just something that you don't get with anything else. It's absolutely stunning.
Wow. Love it.
So can you compare it to anything?
I mean, the closest thing I can compare it to is my LMP1 car. And
Seriously?
LMP2. Yeah, the power feels like the LMP1 car.
Crikey.
Probably better than LMP1.
Wow. Okay.
The gear ratios, obviously, you have more ratios, so it's a bit like you're going through the gears a bit faster. And it takes a little time before you get used to it, because at the moment the shift lights are not working.
Okay, so
you're
you're doing it pure sound.
Yeah, you can see like the dash.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're looking down to upshift, then it's not ideal. So they have to fix that, obviously. But it's the engine feels so free as it's going through the revs. It feels like you have another 5,000 RPM before you have to upshift. And you go, oh, I'm in the elevator.
Really? But it revs to like 11.
Yeah, we're shifting at 10.2.
10.2.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when it's final production, will it be 11, or is it just 10.2 is
I
where
think
it's at?
for the mileage, it's going to be
plenty.
10.2.
10.2.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's to be sympathetic to the engine.
Yeah, so that you get 5,000 kilometers before you need to rebuild the engine.
Okay.
Which
fair
is
enough.
a Le Mans distance, which is actually pretty good.
It's good going.
And it's feels good. It has amazing torque on the engine, and the grip is really, really strong. So it feels just like the P1 car, but more gentle, more rounded around, not like as extreme.
And ABS.
And ABS, yeah. I didn't get anywhere near the ABS today.
Really?
Yeah, first, it's been a while since I drove it. I didn't want to have any mishaps, let's say.
So I mean, what are you expecting this is going to achieve, like lap time wise? You think it'll sustain LMP sort of areas?
I think it's going to be faster than P2 on most tracks.
That's so crazy.
But probably slower than P1 because ultimately there is a target to this car, which is not to be faster than LMP1. Mm-hmm. It's to have people that are not pro drives.
Yeah.
Being able to drive the car. If the car is extreme, people would just smash it up, and you can make the car extreme. But then, what's the point? The base setup of the car is probably a bit soft for a car of this level of downforce, but it's actually really easy to drive and very benign. So
that's mad. How do you do driver training with it effectively being a single seater?
On the phone.
In the earpiece.
Now you have to build up, right?
Right.
I've done this before in F1, where someone buys a day in an F1 car,
right?
And obviously you cannot be in the car with them, so you go through slower cars and then sort of similar types of cars until you get to this. So I would say that the way to get into this car, if you want to actually exploit the performance, would be to start in a GT car, something like this, so you know the track.
Sure.
Then get into a LMP3 car, so that you understand what a prototype feels like when you're driving. And then next thing you do is you jump into this one, and then you get a massive step. If you want to, you can get a P2, but there's no reason to drive into a P2 if you're driving into this one. This is similar.
Jump in this.
Just jump in this. This is quite easy to drive with ABS.
Yeah.
And nice and benign. So. Yeah,
waiting for the trolley. Keep going. So we've launched this second channel, which is called the Uncut channel. Right. Which is why we're allowed to eat ice creams while we're talking about these cars.
This is carrot cake ice cream, which is really nice. I approve.
I actually had a dollop of carrot cake on my chocolate, but I've got to say that the chocolate punch is hard. So we're just waiting for Matey Boy with his loud trolley to go by. But
so apparently you want to jump in, right?
Yeah, apparently, definitely. I want to jump in.
Let me get this out of the way for you.
I keep seeing guys stick their hands in here.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's...
You're going to have to take your shoes off, though. I'm so sorry.
All right.
Just do here. Come this side. So, what you do is you get your shoes off. When you get in, just step
on there,
leg over, and in you go.
All right.
You see the visibility is incredible in this car. Leg over, step with both feet, stand there. Yeah, it's a bit slippery.
Man, it is deep, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah. Leg in.
Whoop.
There you go.
Okay.
You can take
I got him. Oh my God. You know that like cliche saying, it's like feels like a fighter jet? I mean, really.
I mean, look at this this mirror.
Dude, this is absolutely unhinged.
Right.
This is the wildest
let's close
thing.
The canopy. See if you can find your way out.
Okay, hold on. Put that there, stick it in my back. Wow, it's super tight. Mate, that is absolutely bonkers. Right, so this is what it looks like inside the McLaren Solus. What a machine. And this is cool, look, fresh from the Festival of Speed. They've got the stickers to approve the runs, but it's totally nuts in here. Totally nuts. I'm not sure if that's going to give you any
pretty impressive, isn't it?
How tight I am inside here.
I think he's enjoying it. Let's just leave him in there.
That's absolutely insane.
There, see if he can find his way out, you think? Yeah. I don't think he minds.
I don't want to get out. I like to stay in here. But that's what a halo feels like. It's got a halo in front of you. It's really strange how that doesn't deviate from the vision at all. I mean, imagine this is the space that I've got with my head without a helmet on. With a helmet on, tight. Whoop, there it goes. And that's
it makes an amazing seal, doesn't it?
Unbelievable. properly crazy.
So when you
It's super tight in here, right? It's like really
but the visibility is the
Visibility's
best in
amazing.
any race car you ever drive.
unbelievable.
So when you when you close it, this thing disappears. You don't even notice the
It's
thing
funny,
you're
huh?
driving at all.
Yeah,
But the fact that you have no A pillars gives you
the visibility is just
You see the apex because
Next
it's not
level.
sitting too low. You can see the apex really well. Stunning.
dude. This must be wild.
Yeah, it's something. And the noise, engine noise.
And you have to preheat the engine before
You
it
do.
starts, so
Yeah.
it's quite formula in its approach.
Yeah, you need to get it up to about 50 degrees before it can
Okay.
start spinning.
So do they do that with oil and water? Is it
Water. Yeah, there's like
just hot water?
there's here. I don't know if it's on this side or on the other side.
Okay.
They plug a machine.
Really? And it just
the
pumps
machine-
like boiling water through it,
Yeah.
and off it comes.
Yeah.
No way. Interesting.
And then once
Okay.
it's up at a certain temperature,
go.
then you can turn it over. If it's at like 50 or 60, it restricts your revs to first like 6 and 7, then 8, then 9, and then 10,000 RPM. So until the engine is at the right temperature, it will. Every prototype out there is a 2-seater. This
Sure.
is like a single-seater prototype, and it's
This is
stunning.
big time. And genuinely properly, like you get load and it comes through your neck and it's
Yeah, I mean
it's hardcore.
You get surely 3G on this on the corner, so it's
Really?
pretty
Seriously,
good.
wow.
This is a dash. We need
Oh,
to
wow,
work
look
a little
at
bit on the dash a little bit so that everything is working. But it's yeah,
Fabulous thing.
there'll be some anodizing on the aluminium, so it's gonna look nicer and everything. But this is
This is
obviously
the
the
real
first
deal.
one. So
Crazy.
there's even air conditioning.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So does that just open vents in the front and blow air?
There's some AC, but
Right.
it's not gonna be
AC
very
light.
cold. It's gonna
No,
be
it's light AC.
Mm.
It's so unique.
And
Crikey.
it's comfortable. You can.
Yeah, it's nice in
how's the pedals for you? Are they
Yeah, good.
far?
It's great. Yeah, that's really good.
You can push. You can
Pedal
just,
box is decent.
Yeah, the pedal box will come back.
Okay, so
or
the actual
forward.
box moves.
Yeah,
And I would imagine every customer has their own seat fitting.
yeah. So this seat is like an indie seat, they call it. So it's like
Okay.
a bead seat,
Yep.
which is the best, the
Pretty
safest
good.
seat.
Decent. It's nice.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this one for you, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You ready?
I'll take it as it is.
Okay,
This
cool.
is nice. It's
I would say that this seat might be a bit big for you. You probably need like
Really?
something a little bit more tight.
a little bit more snug.
Snug. Yeah.
I remember speaking to you when I had those laps in that F1 car years ago, and I remember you saying, no disrespect, you're not going to be able to drive this thing properly, but if there's one advice I can give you, yeah,
Strap
same-
yourself.
Honestly, and I remember this big dude, he comes along and he gets these things and he like puts his weight on like this, and it was like pressing my entire chest, and I remember Bruno going, tighter.
Tighter.
And I'm speaking to this guy and I was like, is there any chance you could do them tighter? And the guy didn't even flinch. He was like, yeah. I was like, really? Fucking bang like this. And sure enough, when you're out there,
Feels like you're loose.
it feels like you're loose.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah. But imagine your body weight gets multiplied by 3 or 4 times.
It's crazy, dude.
So the belts, they stretch. There's no way around it.
Honestly, like when I was stationary, it felt like my chest didn't have enough room to expand. It was so tight. And then out there, I was like, I could do with a few more clicks.
Yeah.
That was terrifying. And I didn't have the neck for it at all.
Yeah,
Just
but
didn't have the neck for
yeah,
it.
I think in the beginning, until you sort of like find your feet with this car, you'll be okay. But once you start pushing it, then you'll get the feeling with the neck.
Then you need
after.
some neck.
Yeah. Yeah,
So that's the sign of a proper car when you need some neck.
for sure. I mean, it's got like proper carbon wishbones and everything. It's like an amazing piece of kit. It's an amazing
What
piece of
a thing. I love it. I love the fact that McLaren even just had the balls to make it.
Yeah, right.
So great.
I mean, I'm glad they didn't go for the lying racing driver, like
Yes.
bike position thing.
Sure, yeah.
But,
no, it's still relatively GT, isn't it?
Yeah,
In its
yeah.
seat.
It has to be, otherwise, if it's too extreme, most people won't be able to drive it. So
Wouldn't drive it.
yeah, it's a bit high up, so you have good visibility and you have a nice position overall. So
Well, if we ask McLaren really, really nicely, maybe one day we'll get a lap. Let's see.
doesn't
Let's
hurt
see.
to ask.
No, I know, right? The good thing about this thing is there's no option for a passenger ride.
Yeah.
So you have to go.
The only
and
way
drive it.
is driving it,
Exactly.
right?
Thanks for that, mate. That
My
was
pleasure.
awesome. Is the downforce ground effect or downforce or both?
Both.
It's both?
Yeah, there's some good ground effect. If you come around here, you see there's a huge
Flipping
tunnels
diffusers,
behind the car.
Massive. And they go straight all the way under, huh?
Not all the way under.
Oh, 3/4, huh?
Yeah, 3/4. So you get
3/4, so
from the rear,
substantial.
you get lots of downforce from the floor, On the front, you have the massive splitter, which does the job for you. So it's hard to get ground effect cars as prototypes because of the way the body works. But yeah, this is it does.
What's it weigh?
Is it 900 kilos? We can ask them.
Okay.
Fred, how much does he weigh?
Less than 1,000.
Less than 1,000.
Less than 1,000.
So yeah.
That's absolutely
Sorry,
bonkers.
Didn't mean to disturb.
How you doing, Fred? Good to meet you.
Fred,
How's
Fred
things? All right?
has had the pleasure of
Fred's had
driving it a bunch.
lots of seat time in this.
Yeah, I've had a bit. It's amazing. Absolutely.
What's it like? Is it nuts?
Yeah. The driving position is just the best driving position you can possibly imagine.
Bruno was saying the visibility is amazing.
Well, you got from one extreme all the way around to the other. It's just you couldn't ask for any more. And obviously in that central position, again you can position the car perfectly. You've got those front fenders going out in front of you, slightly above the vision line. It's